Hey everyone, and welcome back to a JaYo review. Today we're going to talk about the new romantic phenomenon that is the idea of you with Anne Hathaway and I forget how to say his name. Do you know? Nicholas Galitsna. Sorry, friend. Sorry, my bad. You're gorgeous though.
We're big fans. We're big fans.
Yes, yes. So we're going to talk about that today. And thank you for coming back to watch these reviews. We're going to start with between 0 and 10. How would you rate this movie, Valerie? Oh, and
Ooh.
Valerie, please introduce yourself, by the way.
Oh, hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Valerie. I am here today to speak about The Idea of You, which I just watched over the course of 2 days. Um, so very exciting. Thanks,
And
thanks for having me
she
on, Jackie.
is the creator of Chaos Theater Collective. She is an incredible director, organizer of all things theater, as well, virtual and in person, and musicals.
Thank you.
Hit her up, and she's in the New Jersey area.
I am.
Yes.
It's oh God, the praise, Jackie. Yeah. But yes, hi. Thank you for having me on. I'm very excited to talk about this rom-com. I am not generally a romantic comedy kind of girl, but I will say on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm gonna rate this. I'll rate it an 8. I'll
Okay,
say it's good enough to be an 8 for me.
that's a good solid number. 8 is great.
Yeah, it was a very nice slow burn,
Mm.
and it really kind of delved into character development as opposed to just going from like, a typical like, 90-minute romantic like comedy, like a Hallmark movie where it was like, you have
Mm.
nameless best friend, she's gonna run the candy shop and the candy shop's gonna close, and like you don't really have the time to develop these characters and these stories because you just want to hit all the points. No, they really took the time to develop these characters and make you kind of care about them and love them and have and empathize and sympathize for them.
I love all of that. So today, actually, I learned that this came from a book by a Black author. Yes, a Black
Yes.
female author. And apparently, all of the characters were originally
Mhm.
Black, I guess, in the book. But Hollywood was like, yeah, this is not going to sell. So let's make this
They make it
with
all.
white
Wait,
protagonists.
see, I knew it was with. Oh my God! Wait, what? I knew it was written by a Black author. I haven't read the book, but
Me neither.
seriously,
Apparently,
what?
that's yeah. There's like people
Huh.
making TikTok videos and reels about it. Yeah,
No.
I was
What?
color me shock.
Uh, this is this is not fake. This is brand news to me. Are you serious?
I'm
Oh
serious,
my God, Holly. Oh no.
right?
Are
So
you serious?
yeah, if I can, send a message to the author herself, Robin Lee. Um, I think, sometimes you have to make hard decisions in order to get your work produced and to be seen. And so I think this is still a great thing for her, especially hello Anne Hathaway, love Anne Hathaway,
Huge
and
fan.
Nicholas G is blowing up, has been blowing up for the past couple of years. And so, like, I think this is great casting. This is wonderful for the author, and I'm here for it. In a couple of years, I would love, though, for her to do this again with, Black characters. And holla at your girl, Robin. I am an actor and happy to play the protagonist and the cougar.
I respect that 1,000%. She's incredible. Um, holy cow. But like that, see, that's the thing that bothers me because it's like, why would you why would you race swap these characters? The story, like, why wouldn't you? No, see, I'm not for that. See, okay, I'm dropping it to a 6 now, strictly because
Oh no, don't do that. Don't
but
do
that's like so annoying though. Okay, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll do this.
that.
Story wise, I will give it an 8 because it was beautifully developed, as of all the
Yeah,
things I've said before. However, if because of that,
yeah.
that just spoils it for me. I had no idea.
Mhm.
of
Yeah,
because again, I've never read the book,
me
but
neither. And I mean, let's be real, like with the names like Solène Marchand, right, which is very French, of course she could be white. Like,
sure.
don't get me wrong. And Hayes Campbell also sounds pretty white. So, maybe they were supposed to be, I don't know, but like according to um people on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram Reels.
Well, I knew she was. I knew the author was disappointed about spoiler alert, the ending, which I will not say because we're not in the second half yet.
Yes.
But I did see a couple of things where she was disappointed about the ending. But again, it's like it's what you were saying. It's Hollywood. Like
Yeah.
Hollywood always wants a happy ending.
Mm.
What romantic comedy or romantic story ends with a sad ending? Even The Notebook. You know my feelings about The Notebook. The Notebook
Right.
could end, like debatably so, it does end on a happy ending, on a happy
Sure.
note, because they're together, in whatever phase of life they are together. Um,
Hmm.
but Hollywood, you disappoint
Yeah,
me.
it's Hollywood for sure. And like, yeah, we'll talk about this in the second half in terms of like
Yes.
spoilers and stuff because I have an idea of like maybe where the inspiration for the author came with her ending versus the Hollywood ending. But yeah.
Fair. Yeah, let's dive into the story then. Um,
Hmm. Yeah,
so
what hit for you? Like, what were you like, yeah, this this is great. This is new, this is fresh, I'm here for this.
it was really, I mean, it's a really interesting story.
Hmm.
You see a woman who's 40
Right.
fall, like, genuinely fall in love for a man who's 24, like
Right.
24, because you don't talk about those kinds of relationships.
Mm-mm.
The in This is the first time I've ever seen a story told from the perspective of a woman who's 40, like falling in love with a younger man. Normally
Mhm.
you hear about a story where it's the man who's significantly older than the woman, right? And this for me was the first time I ever watched a movie that told this story. And it wasn't like um a, like a Lifetime movie where there was a scandal or anything like that. This was a genuine romantic story where you saw these two people fall in love. You
Hmm.
experience, you had the one guy, you had the singer, Nicholas G. I'm so
Hmm.
sorry, Nicholas, if you're watching this video. But
Please love us
please,
anyway.
we do love you. We respect, we are not going to attempt to butcher your last name. My apologies.
Right? We're trying to be respectful here.
It's going well. It's going well. Anyway, um, it's really, he's experiencing love really for like the first time as a
Mhm.
celebrity, and then you have Anne Hathaway's character, so Celine, who has
Solen.
Solen. My apologies, Solen.
Unless
See,
they said Celine in the movie, which if they did, they're terrible.
I think he might have said Solen. I think there was a few ones where he might have said Celine, but
Okay. How dare
uh,
they? My cousin is named Solen. So I'm almost like, how
it's a
can you butcher such a beautiful thing?
it's a beautiful name.
It really
It's a
is.
beautiful name. But anyway, so and then you have Anne Hathaway's character, married, divorced. Her husband cheated on her for like a
Oof.
year with a younger woman.
Yeah.
They have a daughter named Izzy.
Mhm.
She has a really close relationship with her daughter, and she doesn't seem bitter about the life that she's had. She's made a life for her own. She's come out of this divorce like she's living her life happily, and like yes, she misses like love and a relationship, but she's not like pursuing it. She's pursuing what she wants in her life.
Hmm.
And you see like she's good, she's okay, she's not struggling. And Hollywood portrays a lot of these older women who maybe have had a divorce or have been through something horrible as like
Yeah.
weary, worn down individuals who need a man to pick them up, and or love or whatever it is. And like no, she's okay,
Right?
she's doing great, and I loved that. That was a big uh reason why I really loved the story and what really stuck out. Um, and it genuinely just made me smile. Like
Right.
I didn't, how sometimes, I don't know if you've experienced this when you watch romantic comedies or whatever yourself, but for me, like sometimes I'll watch it and I'll feel it's gonna sound awful, but depending on the film, sometimes I feel like my IQ is dropping. Slightly.
What?
Slightly. Like, it depends on the book, but again, it depends on if to,
Right.
I'm a snob. I'm sorry. I will full on admit it to the internet. I am an internet. I am a movie snob. I am so sorry. But there are certain films that are romantic comedies that I have seen. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are these people so stupid? Humanity is actual, well, debatable, but like, like yes, love makes you do stupid things, but these people
Right.
are actually genuinely not this stupid. Like love,
Right.
looking back on Love Actually, we can go into a whole other segment with that, but I won't.
Right.
Um, but this film, it just seemed very genuine. It seemed
Mhm.
very they like they both had they're humans. They both had their flaws and they both had their shortcomings or whatever, but ultimately at the end of the day, like it was a genuine connection.
Right.
Yeah, and
No,
sometimes yeah.
I totally agree with you. Like, it's like you said, it's not something that we like see often or like talk about. Or if there is like this age gap relationship between a woman and a man, it's like, the really, really long and large age gaps where they'll have like someone in their 60s with someone much younger, right? Like in their 20s and stuff, and make this a big, like, taboo-ish, like, type of thing. And
Yeah.
it's like,
It's
no, no, this is not what this is about. This,
no, it's not yeah, and they and Hollywood plays up the taboo
yeah,
thing a ton, especially when it comes to older women and younger men. And the
yeah,
thing is though, is that it exists. Those relationships exist. Like
exactly.
why do they have to be villainized? Like obviously it's like, as long as it's consensual and as long as it's like genuine, like
Mm.
you know what I mean? But there are older women that date younger men, and it's not something to be ashamed
Hmm. Absolutely. And there are successful, like I think that's what people are missing too. It's like, they think like, oh, it's a phase in the life type of thing where there's some men who will stay with older women for a certain period of time and then bounce. Of course, that exists, but there are also some really successful relationships where they stay until the end of their days, you
of.
know?
Yeah.
So like it's important to tell all kinds of stories, the unsuccessful as well as the successful ones.
You need to see all aspects of life. And I think that, especially in Hollywood, where everything is relatively watered down for the most part in terms of
Yeah.
storytelling, because I think that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
You do need to tell stories like this,
Hmm.
that are looked at in a very positive light. And then I read, obviously, because what I'll do is I'll watch a movie, then I'll go on IMDb and I'll like read about it and
Uh-huh.
read about the history. And there were some movie people that were really for it, and then there were some people that were totally against it. Um,
Mm. Oh,
saying,
interesting.
I know, and I was like, because it either it glorified, like they said, some people were saying, Anne Hathaway portrayed Selene as this, this like kind of like what I was saying before. She's a very successful
Hmm.
40-year-old woman who, went through a divorce, but she's doing okay. She has a house, she's successful. Like, why does she need love? Well,
Right.
that's the story. Like, people fall in love to fall in love. They fall in love if they make a genuine connection.
Absolutely.
You can't act
Yeah.
like
And sometimes it works. Like there's I think some of the celebrity relationships that are really like popular right now that have been talked about are like Cher with her boyfriend Alexander Edwards there where they have a 40-year gap. you know like that's been really talked about lately, as well as like, well, not lately but like forever, Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra, for example, have
yes.
an age gap as well, and they're very happily married with a child.
I know. I love both of them, truly.
I love them
Love, and I
so
love that
much.
they love that they both have like their separate careers and they could just come together and they're still like
Hmm.
you just see like how in love they are. I think that's so
Yes.
sweet and romantic. And love is great. And then it can be terrible, but love ultimately I think is really great.
It can be. But no, I love it too. Another one that has actually hit like gotten criticism is this new like British guy. What's his name?
You
He's
could tell.
supposedly like the new Bond. Oh gosh, what is his name?
Oh,
Aaron Taylor Johnson?
he was in the X-Men, I think. I know who you're talking about. He was also lined up with Craven the Hunter when that was in development. I know who you're talking. He's in a relationship with an older woman.
Yes, yes, she is a filmmaker, and that has been, and like the gap is, what's it called,
Is it like
20
a
some years. Um, and
okay?
yeah, and people are like, oh my gosh, you were so young. This was not good. It's come under quite a bit of scrutiny.
Has it really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I had no idea. See, I'm over the top.
Yes, Sam Taylor Johnson is his wife. Um, and yeah, she's a film director, like yes, artist, all types of that. And they met on a film, actually, on a film set. He was acting, I think, in his 20s. Um,
See, that's what bothers me. Okay, so why is it when an older woman dates a younger man, it's scandalous, but when you switch it, when it's an older man and a younger woman, why is it like acceptable? I don't
except
understand
I
that.
don't get it.
No, that makes no sense to me.
None. Like, and actually, you know what? In terms of like physiologically or whatever, it makes more sense the other way, to be honest, right? Because women tend to outlive men, and so well, an older woman with a younger man, maybe they'll both live at the same time. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, I have to think about that, but sure. Yeah, okay. I can agree with that.
And it's also very interesting with the times that we're living in right now, 2024. And I can tell you, at least in the US, women in their 30s and 40s and 50s are really struggling romantically to find, great men. Not saying that they don't exist, they absolutely do. But like in my experience, most of the really good men are taken, right? They have a spouse, or they have a partner, a girlfriend, or boyfriend, or they're gay, right? I'm heterosexual, so yeah, not helpful for
Yeah.
me. Um, and they're
I mean,
struggling, yeah, to find a partner. And I found actually several girlfriends of mine that are in their 30s and 40s that are dating men in their 20s. And I was like, ooh, girl. And they're like, no, like they're really understanding. Like the younger generation has a very different understanding of like gender roles and all of these things, that makes it work actually with us women in that
being
age.
being 30, being in my oh my God, I just had my birthday on Friday. Oh, 33, being 33 myself and being single and being heterosexual, it is very difficult to in the dating scene right now for women in their 30s and 40s. I can tell you that. Yeah, I agree with you 1,000% with that. Because it either a lot of a lot of the men are taken with a spouse, or in a relationship, whatever it is, which
Right.
good on for you ladies and good for you guys because that's beautiful. Um, but it is, I mean, in the world of social media and dating apps, and especially when you bring politics into it, it just can get, and also like the level of expectation that I feel like men sometimes have now for women in 2024. Like you go online and you see some of this stuff that some of these men are writing. It's it's really very wild and very eye-opening, and
Yeah.
makes you kind of think twice. Like right now, like I'm happy, like
Mhm.
kind of just where I am in my life in terms of relationships and all that stuff. But but there are times where it can get very lonely, and like you go out on a date, two dates, whatever, and it could make, you never know, and it could be fun, but it seems like a lot of people, men and women alike, are looking for fun at this point. And for anybody that wants something serious, it is a little bit difficult. And it makes you kind of lose hope in love. And then you see movies like this, and then you're like, oh, huh,
Love.
it exists.
It exists.
Oh,
You can
it's not
find it.
toxic. It's not toxic. It's great. Like it actually genuine connection has been harder. I don't, you know what it is? It's not love.
Yeah.
Well, it is love in a lot of ways, but it's also making a genuine connection,
Yes. That's
making a
difficult.
making a genuine connection, making a physical connection. Well, maybe not a physical connection because you can make a physical connection, but there's nothing. It's all surface. There's nothing.
Exactly.
Make
Like,
a genuine connection has been so hard,
mhm.
and it was nice to see this movie. that they made a genuine connection, and you see it. There's frames.
Yeah.
There's one shot in the film. Well, two shots really in the film when they
Mhm.
first meet.
Yeah.
She opens a door, or he opens a door, and it's very much like a Jonathan Demme shot where you just see it straight on from like people's perspectives. Like if you watch Silence of the Lambs and you have like the camera frame in Hannibal Lecter's face, and then you have it in Clarice Starling's face, and it just kind of switches back and forth for perspective. It's a shot of his face where he says hi, and then you cuts to Anne Hathaway, and you just see like a slight expression in her face, like it's intrigue, it's a spark, it's something, and she just goes hi. Two of the best shots of the whole movie.
Love it. Love to see it.
Oh, I love movies. I'm a nerd. I'm full on. I love movies so much. But that shot to me, I was like, okay. It wasn't just a meet cute. It was something. There was something about those two. And
Soul connection,
I
maybe.
think it's because, and also you just see it. You see it in their eyes, and that just proves what great actors Anne Hathaway and Nicholas G. Oh
Yes.
my God. But
Well,
I mean, we love Anne Hathaway though.
yes, she's great. She's great. Though, one of the criticisms, and then we'll get into spoilers.
Okay.
One of the criticisms I heard from, some of my film friends was like, we're supposed to believe this is an age gap like relationship. Nicola, uh, uh, Anne looks like she's in her 20s, which is true. She looks like she hasn't aged. And Nicholas looks like he's in his like late 20s to maybe 30s, which is also true. Like I was like, he looks great. He looks hot.
Yes.
He doesn't look necessarily super young, you
No,
know?
he looks older than how he's supposed to be. Now, I don't,
Yeah.
do we know if Nicholas is actually older than what he's supposed to be in the film?
Good question. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look
Do
it
we
up.
know? Because he's supposed to be 24 and she just turned 40. But Anne Hathaway is 40, right? She just turned.
Oh yeah, yeah. She is.
Okay,
She
so
just doesn't look it,
she should
you
be
know?
okay. Well,
This is the problem.
to me she
Oh, he's
looks
29. I got it right. I said late 20s. Yes.
eh.
So he's older than what?
Okay, so that we'll say that for the spoiler later. But
Yeah.
okay, so let's say relatively speaking, they are age appropriate. Anne
Right.
Hathaway definitely, maybe not him too much, but I mean he looks, but it also is in the personality too.
Right.
She acts like she's gone through everything, and she
Right.
acts like an older, more mature woman.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can't help genetics.
No, you
Like,
can't. It was just like a criticism in terms of like you could have cast somebody else. Like they're older, more mature women that are in their 40s that really look and feel their 40s that you could have
that's
cast
true.
and it would have made it more believable. And it goes into the whole like beauty aesthetics too of Hollywood, right? Like what is considered a desirable, beautiful, and I love this casting. I think it's gorgeous. At the same time, I always like want to push Hollywood to be like, hey, real women. Remember, average size in the US is what, 16?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that part.
could we have, right? But could we have a real woman? There are plenty that are beautiful, that are size 16, size 18, right? That can be in their 40s and be in love,
And be normal.
right? With an idol.
Absolutely.
Because those exist too. And I think not perpetuating those types of stories is sometimes detrimental to our society because we think that the only people who deserve love, the only people who get to have these beautiful, incredible soul connecting relationships and romances are pretty people who are
Yeah,
thin.
that part. I mean, listen, I deal with that problem now. And I think
Mhm.
Hollywood, with stories like Bridgerton, and you have,
Well, Shonda, call me. I'm ready. I'm your black queen who's ready to be on
Shonda,
Bridgerton.
Shonda, you
Okay,
better call
fall in love.
Shonda, you better call Jackie
Call
because
me.
you guys will work great together. But I mean, look at the story like Bridgerton.
Mhm.
Bridgerton took a story and put people of all genders, races, everything, and
Yes,
made it believable that you could. I mean, look at the lead this season, Nicola.
yes,
I think her name is right.
yes.
She is a plus size actor,
Hmm.
and they made her.
Love.
They are putting her in a lead role in the lead love story this season. 20 years ago, probably, it all would have been thin, let's be honest here, thin white women in
Hmm.
this story, right?
Oh yeah.
We're in an age now that it's like it's different, but but even for plus size representation, it's so ridiculously limited still as
Still.
to like the comedic friend. And
Exactly.
I wrote, listen, I wrote about this last year in an article that, it's still happening. It's happening in theater. Like still the
Oh
fact that we're still
yes.
dealing with that lack of plus size representation. And we're very much at a point where like that can still be a thing. So yeah, you're 1000% right.
Yeah.
Like we can just have someone that doesn't look like, can we have someone that's not skinny? Can we have someone that doesn't look like they're on Ozempic? Like,
Right? Size 0 to 2 or 4.
oh, if I have to hear one more story about the Ozempic, I I know that people use it for health reasons, and that is 1000% should be used for health reasons. But for the
Not
people that
most
use it just to
celebrities.
get, no, but that's what I'm saying. For these celebrities that are using Ozempic, what is the point? You
Yeah.
look beautiful. Like you look beautiful before Ozempic. And not to mention the fact that now most of these people do have that Ozempic sunken face. There's studies about that now.
Oh.
Have you seen, like, there's a study about it, and it's like all these celebrities that are taking Ozempic, they all have like this little like sunken face. And like, now again, that's not to say that Ozempic is not used for health reasons. It 1000, if your doctor prescribes it for health, it should 1000% be taken. But
Right.
the people that are just taking it for the sake of looking skinny and finding, it's like a fad. We don't, as 2024 women, do not need another fad to
We
tell.
don't.
We don't need to be told that we're big. We don't need to be told that we're not beautiful. Plus
Please.
size people are beautiful. Let's start perpetuating that more, please, for the love of God.
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry, I rant over. My apologies.
No, no, it's important. It's important for the people to hear. I hope this reaches like millions. Please,
God,
please,
but
please. Like,
it just infuriates me. And you know this. Listen, you're a director. You are a theatrical creator yourself. You see
right.
this. You and I see this all the time in casting, and we have definitely talked about it one on one. That
Yeah,
it's so infuriating that that there are beautiful women out there who are not getting seen strictly because of their size.
exactly.
It's not fair.
No, it's not. And I know personally, like I've been, on the side of that where like I will not be cast as the romantic lead, right? Because I'm this tall. Like they're like optics. The number of times I've heard, oh, the optics. You're this tall, like big woman. Like it doesn't look good with
Oh,
the men who have auditioned or that we have in mind for this role. And I'm like,
then find another.
what does
And
that
then
mean?
the answer is very simple. Find another man. They're
But for
out.
me, actually, it's not even find another man. It's what kind of like why do you lack the imagination? There are all kinds of couples that exist out there. All kinds of couples. What does optics mean? Like,
I
are you trying to say that this couple does not exist? I'm sorry, but I've seen this couple before in real life.
Mhm.
So I think that's what's the problem. The problem is, oh no, we can only tell this type of story. And I think that's problematic. And it's again detrimental to society because it makes people believe that only a certain people have access and have the opportunity to certain types of, things, happiness, wealth, all of these things. And I'm like, that's not true. That's
No,
not
we're at a
life.
we're at a point right now in terms of storytelling. It's a responsibility of the people who are telling these stories to make it real. Not where these movies, like, we look back on these movies from like the 80s, the 90s, like pretty much everything from like, maybe like mid 2000s when people were really just starting to get like, well, you know what? I'll say it, 1998 Cinderella. Brandy,
Yeah.
Whitney Houston, you put an entire cast of people who were all different from each other
Yeah.
in these that was and it sparked
Killed.
huge conversations about what roles people could play and couldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then I think I'll argue and say even that probably really just kicked the door down
Yeah.
and made people start thinking. Now, obviously, this is a change that should have been much sooner than 1997, 1998. But if you look at that movie, you put there were so many that the diversity in that film was incredible. And it's
Yeah.
like those, and even though it was, it's a musical and it's still like Cinderella, it felt relevant because you felt like you were watching
Absolutely.
people that you were friends with or family or whatever it was. But in 2024, we have a responsibility of Hollywood, theater, whatever the entertainment medium is, we have
Mhm.
to start being authentic to who the people are. And the fact that you are a taller, larger woman and people are like optics, who like you're right. What that makes no sense to me at all. If the connection is there, what's the point? Like, or
Right.
what's the problem? I see no problem with that. There's a connection. You care about these two people. You're like, oh, these two people could work together. Excellent. Let's make it. Let's do it.
Right.
Shouldn't be about optics. Interesting. I did not know that people were against Anne Hathaway's casting because she looks younger. To me, I was like, it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, some people that were just like, oh, criticism. But just as many people are like, yeah, we love Anne Hathaway. This was great. Can't wait to see her in this role.
I was never like I mean, I loved Anne Hathaway in Princess Diaries, and then I
Yeah,
know that she
I love
was
me too.
I know that I mean Queen Julie Andrews all the way, but it's she's had it Anne Hathaway's had a very interesting career.
Hmm.
And I'm really glad that like I don't know, there's a part of me that's like I'm kind of glad she really did this role because maybe this is like Anne Hathaway's renaissance in a way. Because I know a lot of people were giving her a lot of flack for like The Witches, Les Mis, which
Okay.
I mean, the movie version of Les Mis was not great. Let's be honest here.
I've
The
not
musical version.
watched it. Oh, yes, I did. I did watch it.
Did you?
Wait, I loved her Fanny.
I,
I thought her
it's
song was beautiful.
I oh my God,
Another day, because
another
I
day.
do have to go.
Yes, you
Um,
do.
and my sister's like, yo,
I'm so sorry. Sorry.
no,
I'm
you're
so
fine.
sorry.
I was just like, oh, time flew.
Time's an illusion. But very quickly. Okay, so the spoil do we want to cover the spoiler at the
Yeah,
end?
go ahead.
Okay. The So again, I'm going to preface this by saying I've never read the book and I didn't even know this was a thing until I read about it in an article where
Great.
the author was talking about the Hollywood ending, which we all know is ultimately the happy ending,
Right.
which we know as regular people doesn't always exist. In
Great.
the book, apparently she ends it with Hayes and doesn't she ends it and she says she never loved him, she was just using him. In a
Right.
Hollywood ending, uh she says let's wait, or he says let's wait 5 years until Izzy's out of school and
Oh,
then we'll meet together, and she says, well, if we find an opportunity to be happy, let's be happy, and they agree on it. And it cuts to 5 years later. He's on the Graham Norton show. He's cut his hair, he's changed his hair. Graham Norton's like, what are you doing after your tour?
mm-hmm.
And he says, well, I'm going to LA. There's somebody that I want to see. And Anne Hathaway's watching. Final scene is in the art gallery. They see, yeah. But apparently that didn't happen in the book, and some people are really mad about it.
Yeah, and my, hot take is like because the name Solène Marchand again is so French, I feel like the author probably had some inspiration from French stories and
Oh,
French, because French stories don't tend to be romanticized the way that American and Hollywood stories are. Like they end really realistically, sometimes well, for the most time not well.
yes.
And I feel like that was where she was tapping. But this is just my thought. Like it's probably not true, but yeah, just my
Oh,
thought.
I mean, but no, it makes sense. If French stories, if you look at the canon, yes, 1,000%, these stories are very sad, but they
Yeah,
talk about real human emotion.
yeah,
That's also, I mean, I think Hollywood is all about the big, flashy, happy ending,
yeah,
which is very nice as people who maybe don't have happy endings or
absolutely.
want to see. But sometimes, and that's also me. I'm since I am very particular about my book to movie adaptations.
Yeah.
You should be faithful to the source material. There's a reason why the author wrote the story the way she did. And
Hmm.
to change the ending to make it happy, I don't maybe because they had so much chemistry, maybe you just wanted them to work, but that's kind of
Well,
what the magic is.
I
Like
think it's just a Hollywood thing because it's like a lot of people go to the movies to escape, and I think that they just want to sell us the dream, right? And that's
escapism, yeah.
the illusion. Like that's what I think American cinema and TV, not as much TV actually, but more cinema really tries to focus on, especially when they do romantic comedies.
Yes, 1,000%. Like what's the last romantic comedy that you can think of where it wasn't a happy ending?
Ooh, that wasn't a happy ending.
Mhm.
I have to think about that. I can't think of one off the top of my head, to be honest, from like American TV that was like not a happy ending. I'm like,
Like
oh no,
there you go. That's why.
you?
Um, I mean, In a way, Devil Wears Prada. In a way,
Mm.
uh,
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
because I mean, she goes through this whole transformation.
Yeah.
I mean, we also agree the villain is the boyfriend.
Ah!
1000%. I don't think it's Miranda at all in that movie.
Oh, she no,
Um,
no.
but I do think that I don't know if it was a happy ending for me for Devil Wears.
Mm.
I think it's one of those movies that, she had the journey, she moved on,
Yeah.
she's okay. She's got a lot to figure out still though.
Hmm.
Um, and that to me is the one romantic comedy that sticks out. And that is very debatable. Again, I'm not a Devil Wears Prada fan by any means whatsoever, but that was a movie to me that stuck out about that ending. Because Miranda has not changed.
Right.
Also, like the lead, also this big lead character, not changed at all. Maybe that's the point.
Mm.
Um, I don't know.
Well, I have to, on that point, gotta go. But this was a great conversation. And
Thank you.
I
I'm so
think at the end of the day, it feels like we're still recommending go watch the movie, The Idea of Me, and let us know in the comments what you think, how you felt.
yes.
Yeah, we're here for all of it.
Yes, thank you for having me on. This was so much fun. I love it.
Of course.
But go watch the movie, please. Like, don't let any of this dissuade you from watching the film. But watch
Absolutely.
it and make up your own mind.
Yes.
All right.
Bye, and see you at the
Bye.
next review, y'all. Ciao.
Bye.